All right. Hey, thanks for checking out this week's newsletter of this week's good advice. I appreciate you checking in on a late Friday afternoon. I hope your week's been well and that you are going to have a great weekend. I'm putting out this video with a new camera. Let me know what you think about it. It's like super zoomed in and kind of cool. But all that to say, we are talking today about how can you really make sure your business can endure the pain of inflation? And more importantly, how can you make sure you have a business that can thrive regardless of what's going on in the economy, whether it's a good economy or a bad economy, whether you are in growth mode for your business or not? We're going to be talking about a couple of quick tips to help you grow your business. So I had someone ask me this question on Wednesday, just sort of offhand. They said, hey, what's your thoughts on inflation for businesses right now? And I thought, wow, I can't believe I haven't talked about this before. There are a few things that can help you resist the pain of inflation and maybe not even notice it. A couple of things that come to mind is, first of all, you have to make sure that you are not a business that's built on the cheapest possible offer. Now, what's interesting in this is that no one really, that I know at least, starts a business thinking, I want to be the cheapest option on the market. Now, there can be actual intentional strategies around this. You think of Great Value Brands, which is the Walmart brand where they do like the cheap alternatives. So it's not to say that this doesn't happen, but for the most part, especially people in the service industry, they're not looking to have the cheapest possible option. What typically happens is instead people try to discount their services thinking that they are doing a benefit to their customer when actually they're communicating a lack of value in their business. So for example, I talked to a guy who was doing business cleaning. He was doing janitorial services and he said, I'll come to your building. I'll come clean. The first clean is on me just so you can see how great this is. And I was kind of shocked by this. I thought, wow, you would actually not only sell what you're doing, you would not sell it, and you would actually go to someone's office and clean for free just to show you're worth it. To me, that communicates a total lack of value. Like, why wouldn't you be like, yeah, this is how much it costs. This is what it looks like. And see, what happens here is we think that we're neglecting customer service by not standing our ground in price, when really you can both have good customer service and also stick to the value of your business. The second thing that I would tell you to think about is being mindful of going all in on what you're known for and sticking to it. So a lot of times when businesses scale, when businesses grow, there is feature creep that happens. There's extra offerings that you think of, cool little tack-ons that you put on top of your business that, in your mind makes sense to offer those things. The problem is that when the economy is struggling, when the business environment is struggling, these kinds of things can be really clunky for your business. It can be really clunky to have all these extra offerings that really aren't that profitable for your business. What typically happens is people don't actually honestly look at their offerings and say which ones are actually profitable. What typically happens is that there is one that is unprofitable or a waste of time or way too much work, or the selling cycle is way too long, but the owner personally loves that product. The owner personally loves that service, even if it's not good for the business. So go all in on what you're known for, that niche that you have, which brings me to my third point, is that if you haven't niched out, if you haven't differentiated your business, you're in trouble if the economy is looking bad. Because here's why. When people start to think about their finances, you don't want to look like everybody else. You don't want them to associate you with just everybody else. Because what will then happen is that if I have no connection to you as a provider of a service I need, well, then when I'm thinking about my checkbook, when I'm thinking about the balance in my bank account, I'm just going to go with the cheaper option. And that's a race to the bottom that you cannot win. The very last thing I'll say is not to have a fear-based mindset, not to have a scarcity mindset. There are businesses that will flourish during inflation, during a recession. There were businesses who flourished during COVID. And so it's important that you stay positive and think about the opportunities that you have rather than all the things that could possibly go wrong. Hey, we'll put out another episode on this topic. It'll go live later today. You can check it out on any podcast platform on the Good Advice Podcast. Thanks for listening. I wish you well, and I'll catch you next week. See ya.